Hey everyone, Stan here. Welcome back to the Den. It's December 4th. Not the end of the year yet, but close enough for history to get real interesting. Today we're diving into a mix of landmark moments, wild surprises, and yeah, a little holiday season weirdness. Get comfy. Let's roll. First up, we got George Washington's farewell to his officers in 1783. That's right, on December 4th, 1783, General George Washington bid farewell to his Continental Army and at Francis Tavern in New York City, formally marking the end of the Revolutionary War. Imagine, after years of fighting, hardship, loss, no big parade, no victory tour, just a tavern, handshakes, and a few heavy hearts. The war was over, but the new nation had no guarantee of what came next. It was a humble moment, a very human moment, a reminder that sometimes history's biggest turns come not with fireworks, but with quiet goodbyes. The Observer's first Sunday edition happened today in 1791. The Observer published its first issue, becoming the world's first Sunday newspaper. Think about that. A world where Sundays were, for many, days of rest, reflection, maybe church, and suddenly a paper arrives, offering news, commentary, gossip, maybe scandal, in the middle of people's day off. Probably change someone's Sunday nap into an existential crisis, or, a bit of light reading while sipping tea. The U.S. Senate votes to join the United Nations in 1945. By a 65-7 vote, the U.S. Senate approved the United States' participation in the newly formed United Nations. World War II had just ended. The planet was reeling. Nations were trying to rebuild. That vote, often overshadowed by bigger headlines, was a commitment. We don't want this destruction again. A desire for cooperation over conflict. A serious, hopeful moment. The $1 Million Quartet, spontaneous rock and roll magic, happened in 1956. Let the good times roll. Fast forward, December 4th, 1956, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Johnny Cash all gathered for a spontaneous jam session at Sun Studio in Memphis. Their one and only time playing together. 4 music icons, 1 room, 0 plan, just riffs, energy, and rock and roll history being written on the spot. If there was ever proof that sometimes history doesn't wait for permission, that is just what happened. All right, we got a few short historical dealies going on. 1978, Dianne Feinstein, I'll leave it up to you, becomes first female mayor of San Francisco. It was December 4th, 1978. Following the assassination of Mayor George Moscone, she was sworn in, becoming both the first woman and first Jewish mayor of San Francisco. 1980. Here we go. Led Zeppelin disbands. Oh, hearts are broken. On this date, the legendary rock band officially called it quits after the death of drummer John Bonham. Yeah, that was tragic, man. And he was a killer drummer. But in 1991, Pan Am ceases operations. Once a titan of the skies, Pan American World Airways ended service on December 4th, 1991. Piece of aviation history, folding quietly. All right, quick break pause. Quick break pause. Yeah, that's what that is. If you dig stories like these, you'll love what we're building with the Lore Trail app. Imagine walking down a quiet street or hiking through a forgotten woodland and discovering real stories tied to every spot you pass. Battles, legends, odd local tales, unsung heroes, all unlocked by GPS. Back the Lore Trail Kickstarter. Help us bring hidden history back to life, because every place has a story waiting to be told. And we're getting back to it. The Deadly Smoke on the Water night. Montreux Casino Fire, 1971. On December 4th, 1971, a fan fired a flare gun during a Frank Zappa concert at the Montreux Casino in Switzerland. The building caught fire and burned to the ground. H. The show was over. The casino was gone. But inspiration remained. That night gave birth to one of the rock's most iconic songs, Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water. I did not know that. A strange example of destruction breeding creation, tragedy turning into an anthem. And then we're going to shoot up into outer space with Gemini 7. Today, on 1965, NASA launched Gemini 7 with astronauts Frank Borman and Jim Lovell aboard. That mission helped pave the way for future space rendezvous and eventually the moon landing. From taverns and newspapers to rock anthems and space rockets, December 4 shows how wildly human ambition can swing. In 1969, during a raid by Chicago police with FBI involvement, Black Panther leaders Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were killed. That certainly remains one of the stark, tragic chapters in U.S. civil rights history. A reminder that progress and power often collide, and the fight for justice is never easy. Serious stuff. And if you're still with me, maybe you need a little pick-me-up. That's where a Dubby Energy drink comes in. Whether you're editing late-night episodes, like me, researching random history facts, or just powering through your day, Dubby gives you clean energy, steady focus, and no crash. Crack one open. Stay alert. Stay curious. You can find that over at dubby.gg. And if you use the promo code DravinsDen, no apostrophe, you will get 10% off. So go check it out. Dubby's Energy Drink. December 4 hits all notes. Hope, creativity, tragedy, beginnings, endings, and reinvention. From George Washington quietly leaving a war behind, to rocket ships blasting toward new frontiers. From Sunday papers to rock and roll jams to smoke-filled casinos. History on this day proves one thing. Human stories are messy, unpredictable, and always worth remembering. So whether you're sitting on an old street corner, walking a forest trail, or just riding shotgun in the den, remember, each place, each moment, might have a story waiting to be told. Stay curious, keep exploring, and I'll catch you on the next time. In the next time. On the next time? I'll catch you next time. How about that? On Draven's Den.